Welcome to Therapeutic Yoga. Thank you so much for taking this time to take care of yourself and all the layers of yourself, not just the physical body. Yoga is not just physical postures, right? But tending to our emotional layers, our mind, right? Many of us talking about how our minds are in all these different places, right? The emotional layer. And what is the one thing that sort of weaves and intertwines between all of these layers, not to mention the spiritual layer? The breath, right? So this is why the breath is like the low-hanging fruit for whatever you show up with. The breath can help. So let's go ahead and find a posture that supports good breathing, whether you're seated on the earth or you're seated in a chair. Getting a little extra support today if you need it. If you're feeling, like there's just a little too much going on, you might drape a blanket across the lap, right? For a little extra grounding, you might do that. If you're cold, right? Probably not down in Florida where Renee is. Probably not on the cold side. That's good. So we're just coming into an upright posture. And if I have been sitting for a while or just not paying attention to things, I might roll my shoulders up, back, and down. A few times I might open my mouth and stick my tongue out. And then I'll simply close my eyes or soften my gaze down, feeling my feet on the earth, my seat in the chair, and the stability of my own body. My body, the container, strong, upright in the spine. Beginning to notice my breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling perhaps through the nose or mouth. Easy breath in and out. Allowing the belly to soften and fill so that we can have a deeper, fuller breath. As we breathe in, the belly fills, rising like a balloon. As we breathe out, maybe there's a little gentle squeeze so we can get the air out of that balloon. Just watching the breath come and go. And then I'll invite you as an option to begin to create a beat on your thigh with one hand. And it doesn't have to be the same beat as mine. And you're going to breathe to this beat. You're going to breathe in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. Whatever pace feels right to you, and out, same length. Easy breath in, easy breath out. Following the thread of your breath and creating a container or structure to your breath by connecting it with a rhythm. Maybe it's a rhythm you hear in your head. Maybe you can count inwardly. And we'll just take 3 more breaths. Balanced inhale, balanced exhale. All right, and then I want to take a really big deep breath in and make some noise. Ah. Another deep breath in, maybe it's an ooh. Ooh. Breathing in. Ah. So good, my friends. Let's rub the hands together. Rubbing my hands together, creating a little warmth and reaching up, and giving my neck a little extra TLC. Maybe you're caring for a chronic neck tightness. You would not be alone if that were you. And I think the chronic neck tightness really comes from two things: our postural habits and stress. And sometimes we just can't help but tense this part of the body instinctively when we're doing a lot of stressful things or we're having stressful challenges. So I'm saying this more to myself because I like wake up and I'm like, why is it tense? I did all my stretches, I did my breathing, but it's just, this being in this human body business can sometimes be a little tricky. So releasing the hands down, when you're ready, we're just gonna tilt the ear to one side, move through to center, inhaling, tilt the ear to the other side. It doesn't have to be the same side as me. Moving from side to side at my own pace. Seeing if I can maybe let go of effort in my shoulders, in my jaw. Just moving the head from side to side. Feeling that warmth in the lap. If you happen to be carrying a little dog in your lap, feeling the feet on the earth. And you could take one more on each side, letting it be what it is. So in our class today, I'll invite you to move away from doing. We do already so much, right? That list, that schedule, those appointments. So in today's class, we're going to see how it would feel to be, to just be. So we're going to do all the things, and I'm just going to keep cueing you to be instead of do. Okay, and the way that I feel like I'm being more than doing is, again, low-hanging fruit, the breath. So let's bring the arms down at the sides. The palms can face out. I'm going to inhale and lift my arms up. And exhale, palms face away, pushing down at the sides. Breathing in, being in my body. Breathing out, feeling my breath. Creating this time, this space for myself. Maybe even creating a layer of protection around myself, so that the folks that I'm interacting with, right, my energy can stay grounded. I can be healthier than those around me. This is often the case for me as I go into like familial situations when, people who are not doing yoga, right, who are not tending to self-care, are very responsive, let's just say, emotionally. And I have the opportunity to sit back and practice my yoga, practice being, practice breathing, and responding rather than reacting, if possible. We'll take one more. Good, I'll bring my arms out to the sides with the palms facing ahead of me. And I'm just going to bring my palms back a little bit. So I'm opening the heart space. This is an area I tend to protect, but it is also very open for me. So maybe we need a hug, and maybe we need to close off that space for a moment, tucking the chin, breathing into the upper back. I only have to give what I have to give. Breathing in, opening wide. Maybe the palms come back a little farther. Feel that stretch across the chest. And then the opposite, arm on top. Bring it in tight. Easy breath. And then we'll release the arms down at the sides, and I'm going to let them dangle. Let them swing a little bit. Letting go of carrying around some of those burdens. I'm not going to be able to figure it all out right now. Letting go of all that. And then I'll begin to circle my wrists. Just a loose circle. Kind of flowing the energy a little. And then I might make a fist and do some knocking. Knocking on the doors of life, I sometimes say. Hello, we're alive. I'm grateful to be alive today. Yes, that is so nice, Leslie. And then I might give my hands a little massage. So I had a sort of a Valentine themed class on Tuesday. I have a chair yoga class. And in that class, I did talk about the hands doing the work of the heart. So pay attention to your hands and what they do every day, what they do for you, what they give to others. Take good care of your hands. I'll interlace my fingers and press my palms away, kind of loosen up the fingers. And then if it felt okay, I could lift my arms up, kiss the ceiling with my palms, stretching tall. That's beautiful, Joe. Releasing the arms down, grabbing onto my chair, squeezing my shoulder blades together, lifting my heart, easy breaths, just inhabiting my body, being in my body, and then releasing, and once again letting the arms dangle. So I'm already feeling like really pretty nice and warmed up in my neck and my shoulders. How about you guys? Do you need more neck? Getting some shrugged shoulders with that one. Okay, so let's move on to the spine then. So perhaps rounding the back is not great for you. If that's you, you can bring the arms forward. You can tuck the belly and tuck the chin. And this is the gentle rounding you can do. Right? If it's not contraindicated, you could round a little more deeply. And then I'll do the opposite, drawing the elbows back, pushing the heart and belly forward, pelvis tilts forward. And I'm just moving back and forth between these two. It's so simple. And sometimes I feel like, is this enough? You know, we do a lot of the same stuff, but really the simple yoga is the most effective, especially if we have a lot of complex and complicated things going on in our bodies and minds. And it's very, very relaxing for the nervous system to do repetitive movement like this, just kind of flowing, and also knowing what to expect in each class. So I might take one more of each, juicing up my spine and coming back. And then if it's available to you, you could bring the legs out to the sides a little bit. I don't know what that means for Mr. Moose sitting on the lap. He might have to go, I don't know. Or maybe he can find a little hollow there. Okay, so I'm going to notice my pelvic bowl. Just noticing it, and maybe even closing my eyes and imagining maybe a beautiful decorative bowl. What that would look like. And then what would that bowl contain? Just with your mind, choosing something that your beautiful pelvic bowl contains. I had asked this question one time and somebody answered pomegranate seeds. And I thought that was so beautiful to imagine the vibrant, beautiful pomegranate seeds. And it's a good color too because it's associated with the root chakra. So whatever's in your bowl, whatever your bowl looks like, we're going to tip that bowl forward. And maybe some of those seeds start to spill out the front of the bowl. And we're going to tilt the bowl back. Maybe some of those seeds spill out the back. And it's a very subtle movement, so tilting forward, tilting back. Maybe I could breathe in as I tilt forward, the belly is full. Breathe out as I tilt back, deflating the air. That's good, Leslie. Inhaling, letting the belly be round and full. Moving at your own pace. Maybe a few more pelvic bowl tilts. Just being in my bowl. All right. And then I'll begin to move. The bowl is my base, and my spine is the spoon, stirring the contents of my bowl. So I'm moving my spoon / spine in a circular motion, churning up the contents of my bowl. And I might move in the other direction. And I'm coming back to neutral. And today, let's see how it would feel. You might want to keep both feet on the ground, or you could try extending the left leg. And I've extended my left leg. It doesn't have to be all the way to the side. It could be out front if that feels better for you. I'm going to keep my toe lifted and keep this leg kind of engaged. This pelvic bowl is nice and upright. And then I'm going to lean over to my right side. Maybe my arm is straight. Maybe I can bring the forearm down. And if I can bring the forearm down, I'm kind of prying myself open to the left. And I'm lifting my left arm up and stretching over and coming into a big circle, nice big circle. Breathing, inhabiting the body. Not much weight in this right arm. So I'm doing some work to keep myself lifted. Do you feel the work you're doing in the core, Joe? Doing some work in the core here to stay lifted. And the last time you do this, you could keep the arm reaching overhead. So we're doing a modified extended side angle pose. My heart is lifted towards the ceiling. I'm twisting to the left, easy breath. And then releasing back up. Ooh, that was a big stretch. Okay, so I might tip my pelvic bowl forward and back a few times. Staying grounded. This could be an image that goes with you the rest of your day if you're having trouble staying down on the planet Earth. Think of your pelvic bowl. Then I might walk my left leg over to the left a little bit and extend my right leg long, engaging the right leg. The leg could be out front, again, whatever feels most stable for you. And I'm just stretching over to the left. The arm could be straight. I could come down onto the forearm, right? If whatever feels best for you in your back. And I'm kind of prying myself, twisting to the right and bringing that right arm up and over. Easy breaths, circling the arm. Being in my body. Last time, keep the arm lifted and reaching. That's good, Renee. Really beautiful. Spinning the heart towards the ceiling. You've got it. And then I'm releasing from this pose, walking my feet back and giving myself another hug. Maybe there's some internal languaging that you would like to repeat. Something really nice that you might say to somebody else typically. You could turn it inward and say it to yourself, even using your own name. And releasing from there. All right, friends. Let's wake up the feet. So I'm going to stretch my right leg out, point and flex, and point and flex. Still mindful of my pelvic bowl, and still mindful of my left foot, which is anchored down. And then I'll switch sides. Pointing and flexing with the left foot. Grounding down through my right foot and my seat. All right, and then I'm going to come back, and I might just kick one leg out and the other leg out. I could hold onto my chair if it's easier. Juicing up my knees. All right, and then Joe, this one's for you, my friend. Okay, so I happen to have a yoga block. You might not have a yoga block, but you can use anything. You can use a pillow from the couch. So grab something, you're going to put it between your feet. You're going to put it between your feet, and you're going to slide to the back of your chair. Haven't done this one in a while, have we, Joe? This one used to get some exasperation in my live chair yoga class. So I'm lifting my block up, and I'm squeezing, or my pillow, whatever I have, squeezing my feet together. So I'm really waking up the inside of the thighs, and I'm also feeling that core is really working hard. If I felt safe, I could bring my arms out front. So this is a seated chair pose. Breathing in, breathing out. Maybe the contents of my bowl have become a little more stable, a little stronger. Solidifying. That's good. And then I'll release the block down and just rub the tops of my legs. That feel okay? Yeah. All right. So if you're at the back of your chair, you could try moving forward. This gets a little harder. I might have to hold on to my chair. And what I'm going to try to do is hover the block so I'm not touching down. And this might not work for you balance-wise, right? You might have to go to the back of the chair. It's all good. I just want to see how it would feel to try to hover the block and lift it out. I really feel this in the core. It's amazing, right? I don't have to get down on the floor and do those darn crunches, which I hate. I could do this instead. If I have lower back issues, getting down on the floor and doing some stuff might be better. Got it, Leslie. Oh my gosh, one more. You're killing me today. All right, and then I'm going to take this darn block to the side. Come to the front of my chair, and I'm going to cross my right leg over my left. I'm going to take a really gentle twist to the right. Really gentle twist, breathing in, breathing out, letting go of any tension in my belly. Really feeling that belly on the inhalations. One more breath. And we're coming back to center and switching sides. Left knee over the right. Taking that twist to the left, easy breaths. Just a really gentle twist between sides. And then we'll come back to center and maybe take one more round of cat-cow or any other spinal movement that would feel good to you before we stand. My transition out of my seated posture to my standing posture is mindful, and I'm never in a hurry. As I come to stand, never in a hurry. Taking that sip of water, moving anything out of the way so I won't trip during some standing poses. All right, so I'll take a little wider stance. Taking a little wider stance, my hands can be on my hips. And I'm going to start with the smallest circle possible. Imagining, that my pelvic bowl is moving with me here. Small circle gets a little bigger. And maybe moves in the other direction. And then I'm opening my arms out to the sides. And take up all the space you need. And be soft in the knees as we take some torso twists from side to side. I'm going to find one or two things to rest my gaze on as I move my eyes throughout the room. Breathing. Let it be loose. Let it be flowing. Maybe you can imagine creating a little boundary around yourself. You decide what happens inside your boundary, inside your bubble. Maybe one more on each side. And then I'm going to come back to center and let my arms be heavy. Lean forward and do the work of moving the arms with the rest of the body. And I'm maybe taking my gaze down a little bit, tucking my chin a little bit and breathing. Sigh it out the mouth. Letting go of all the cares and burdens that constantly you're maybe imperceptibly carrying around with you. Releasing out of the fingertips. And then slowly coming back up. Good. And we'll take the feet a little closer together. Lifting the toes, spreading them wide, digging them back down. Holding onto a chair if you need to rise up onto the tiptoes. And come back down. Inhale, lift. Maybe we start with a very small little arm flutter. It could be just one arm. And every time we lift up, those arms go up a little higher. Breathing in. Breathing out. Rising up like a bird taking flight. Little higher every time, maybe the opposite arm. And maybe taking two more. I feel like Daniel-san in Karate Kid when I get up there, you know. All right, that's beautiful, friends. Let's walk it out a little bit. Take a little promenade. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Lift those knees. All right, so this is a core exercise, Joe. This works the core, especially if you can take your hands away from the chair. Beautiful. Do you feel the core working here? Oh yeah. And my hip flexors. So we'll do this and then we'll stretch the hip flexors in Warrior One. You've got it. I almost feel like there's a little string I'm lifting my knee up with the opposite arm. Like a little marionette. All right, we'll do one more on each side. You've got it. And then let's come to Warrior One. Right foot forward, left foot back, sink into that right knee. Hips are pointed towards my chair. And I feel this beautiful stretch in the front of the left hip. If you're caring for high blood pressure, bring the hands to heart center. Otherwise, maybe we want to lift both hands up. You could interlace the fingers and leave the index finger pointed. That might be something you'd like to do. Or maybe it's just one arm lifting. Just the left arm. Try the left arm. And I'm lifting my heart, finding my breath, squeezing that left glute muscle. You got it, Joe. Beautiful. Softening my shoulders and releasing the hands down. I'm going to stay here in Warrior One foot stance. I might straighten it and bend it into it one or two times. And then what I'd like to do is keep my right hand on the chair, lift my left arm up, and side bend to the right a little bit. So I'm getting this really huge stretch across the left side of my body. Oh, that feels good. And then release from there. All right, shortening the stance, coming to pyramid pose. My hips are square. It's hip to be square, don't you know? And then bringing the forearms down to the chair. Maybe the fingertips tenting on the seat of the chair if there's farther to go. Easy breaths. Can you tip the pelvic bowl back / up towards the ceiling? It's good, Joe. And then I'm releasing, walking myself up, stepping the left foot forward. Bringing the right foot back. Sinking into my left knee. Feeling what I feel. Being in my body. A single point of focus in asana is inhabiting the body fully. Right? So maybe the hands come to heart center. Maybe you lift the right arm. Maybe you lift both hands, interlace, point the index finger towards the sky. Soften the shoulders. Squeeze the right glute muscle. Maybe the pelvic bowl tips back. Big breath in. Breath out. That's great. And releasing. I'm going to stay here in my stance and just bend and straighten that left knee once or twice. And then I'll bring the right arm up, keeping my left hand on the chair or on my hip, and I'll side bend to the left a little bit. Let that left shoulder be heavy and loose. Yes. What a good stretch. And then come on back. And let's step both feet back. Oh wait, no, I have to do that other pose. Pyramid pose. That's where my brain is today. So I've got both legs are straight and I'm pouring the heart forward. Tipping that pelvic bowl up towards the ceiling. Finding what feels good for me. Tuck my chin if I have neck issues, that's good. Do you feel a stretch in the back of the left leg? Yes. Easy breaths. Good. And then walk yourself up. Walk yourself up and kick the heel towards the butt. Stretch the front of the leg. Right? If you have the ability to do so, you could reach back and grab a pant leg or grab an ankle and give the front of the leg a stretch. If this isn't happening for you, you can keep kicking the heel towards the butt. Switch sides. We barely ever stretch the front of the legs. That's good. All right, I'm going to release down and take a wider stance again. The arms coming down at the sides, palms facing forward. Breath in, breath out. Maybe I could, for a moment, just close my eyes. My legs are strong. I can feel the whole front of my body is receptive. The whole back of my body is whatever it is you're feeling. But knowing that it's there, maybe there's a strength to the spine, to the glutes. And then opening the eyes and bringing that right arm up and over. Coming back to center, inhaling left arm up and over. As you bring the right arm up and over, really let the left shoulder be loose. As you bring the left arm up and over, let the right shoulder be loose. And we'll do one more on each side like that. Lots of side bending today. Last one. Right shoulder heavy. All right, friends. And then from here, I'll bring my toes to point to the sides a little bit. I'm squeezing my glutes and I'm bringing my hands down in a what is this shape? A cactus. My brain didn't get the word right away. I'm just going to squeeze my elbows back and then come back to neutral. And I might sink down into my knees a little bit, squeeze my elbows back, come back to neutral. Maybe I sink down a little deeper, squeeze my elbows back, come back to neutral, and then I'm as low as I feel like going. Bring the elbows back, come back to neutral, give yourself a hug, straighten the knees, shift the hips. And then once again, I'm coming back to this stance. The toes are pointed to the side. I'm sinking down, and I'm going to flick my fingertips across my palms. Rooting down through my feet, the legs are really strong, the glutes are active, my pelvic bowl is tipping back. My hands get faster and faster. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release up. Shift the hips from side to side. Shrug the shoulders. And then one more time, I'll come to goddess, as I am among goddesses. Bending the knees, tipping the pelvic bowl back, swishing the wrists. Everything is strong on the lower half of my body. My chin is tucked. I'm breathing. That's one element that is easily forgotten when we're doing lots of different things at the same time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, shift everything. Let everything flow and move. Just be a set of dancing bones. Any other movements the body's asking for. Maybe a little opposite arm, opposite leg, hip rotation dance would feel good. All right, and then we'll take a down dog. Finding your breath. Sigh it out the mouth. Inhale, make your way up. We're going to take one more standing pose, and then we'll begin to wind down. Thanks, Renee. Please do just some breathing on your way out. Okay, so weight will come into that right foot. Pick up my left leg as high as feels safe to me. The toe could still be on the ground. Pull up. Engage that right glute muscle, pull the belly towards the spine, and then work towards floating the arm or arms up. Relax a little bit. Play a little bit, softening the right knee, pelvic bowl, tipping back. Maybe there's some other way you want to practice balance from what I'm offering. That is fine. Really nice. And we're kicking it out, kicking out the right knee. And switching sides. Weight in the left. Bendy bounce. Pick up the leg as high as it wants to go. The toes could still be on the earth. My pelvic bowl. I'm just going to keep saying those words. Pelvic bowl, pelvic bowl. You know what I mean. Finding my breath. That's good, Leslie. Finding the edge. Maybe you take all but one finger off the chair. All but one finger. Maybe all but one hand. Yeah, that's good. And then I'm walking it out, kicking it out, coming to take a sip of water, and then mindfully transitioning to a seated posture on the chair, on the earth. We're going to do a round of alternate nostril breathing. Then we'll finish up with a few stretches and a little bit of sound. So you can put on those socks, put on a layer if you like, and we'll address balancing the body, massaging the body from the inside. So finding whatever posture feels right. I love draping a blanket over myself for any kind of meditation. It just keeps me in my body. Blanket across the lap, that also works. So I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to create my little mudra by peeling back my first two fingers. But again, friends, it's whatever works for you. Okay, so I'm just going to be going back and forth. Let's first just do a little test. Let's close the right nostril and inhale in and out of the left. Just noticing, not forcing. Good, and then we'll switch. Press the left nostril, inhale, exhale out of the right. Just noticing. And then releasing the hand. Was either of you really stuffed up in one nostril today? Were you able to get the air flowing okay through both? All right, so then we're going to move ahead with Nadi Shodhana. If you do experience something being really overly congested, you're going to skip this practice and do it mentally, and I'll share a little bit of a mental version after we do some of the manual version. So starting with my right hand, I always start breathing in and out of the left side, okay? So close right, inhale left, close, exhale right, inhale right, close, exhale left, breathing in left, close, exhale right, you're at your own pace, inhaling right, close, exhale left. Another round, inhale left, close, exhale right, inhale right, close, exhale left, continuing on your own. Watching the air flow in and out. And the next time you exhale through the left nostril, you can let the hands come down. And just take a few breaths. Observe any effects from that practice. Feel a little more open. Feel a little more clear in my mind. My mind feels a little stiller. So the mental version of that can be its own meditation. What I'll do for the mental version of that is I'm gonna bring my palms up here so you can see them, but you can rest your palms in your lap. And my palms are going to represent the airflow. Okay, so my right nostril is closed and my left nostril is open. I'm going to breathe in through my left, just seeing if I can notice the air feeling in my left nostril. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Breathing into the third eye. Closing, exhaling out of the third eye, right side, down to the palm of the hand. Breathing in. Breathing out. You could do one more round at your own pace. Just observing. Next time you exhale left, bring both hands to face the earth. And take a few breaths in and out. So what I love about that is it really addresses the whole channel, energy channel, versus just the feeling of the air in my sinuses, in my nostrils. And that is the purpose of it, that it is a cleansing or unblocking of a whole energetic channel. So I like to envision the air is coming up, going to my third eye, going back down, and I have, this sort of amazing flow happening, and things start to feel really balanced. So thank you for sharing your practice with me with that and trying that out. I want to conclude with a hip stretch, right? So this could feel good to lay on the back if you're able to. Come down onto the earth. If you're seated in your chair, you know the drill, my friends. We're going to cross that right ankle over the left knee to whatever degree is accessible for you today. And if it's available, you could roll that right ankle, you could massage that right foot or ankle. If you're on the earth, you might hug the leg in a little closer. If you're seated, you might reach the heart forward, fold a little bit, finding your breath. That right foot stays flexed, not pointed. If I'm seated, maybe I'm noticing my shoulders have started to creep up. Let them be soft. And then releasing from this, you can take the foot down if you're on the earth, letting the knees nestle. As we take that gentle twist, torso twisting to the right. If you're on the earth, that right arm can reach to the right, and that right shoulder can melt. You can take 3 breaths here. And then slow come back to center. Switch by bringing the left ankle over the right knee or whatever side you didn't do. Circling that left ankle, massaging the left foot if it's available. And then hugging that leg in if you're on the earth, reaching the heart forward if you're seated. Where can you soften? Usually it's the shoulders for me. The jaw. Maybe I'm inadvertently scowling, right? And knitting my brows together. I tend to do that. Finding your breath. we'll come up, come out of this posture, placing that right foot on the earth, the knees nestling, and we can drop the knees to the right as we twist to the left. That left shoulder can relax. Easy breaths. And recoiling back to center or staying there longer if it feels really good. Maybe you want to take one more stretch. Maybe you can stretch everything, take up a whole lot of space, and not just your physical body. Let your energetic body fill the room. Maybe there's some internal languaging you'd like to say to yourself about that energetic body and how powerful and strong and beautiful and supple it is. And then getting ready to come into one last posture for 1 minute. Taking a more comfortable, relaxed posture than you're in right now. That might mean I come to the back of my chair. I might find a blanket or pillow to drape in my lap. Right? That might mean I stay exactly where I am. If I'm resting on the earth, I'm getting myself super comfortable. I'm closing my eyes and just inhabiting this container of my body as fully as I can today. Noticing all the points of contact where my body is touching the earth. As I breathe in, I'm going to allow my belly to fill. The belly rising and falling, rising and falling. Every breath in is an opportunity for me to grow, expand. Breaths out are opportunities for me to rest and soften and let go. Marinating in my own essence. Nothing to do, nowhere to be. Sukino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Coming back from wherever you've been. If you need to keep resting, you can keep resting. If you're ready to come back, you can lick the lips and swallow. You could move the head from side to side. You could give yourself a big hug, rolling onto one side. And you could say that little sweet nothing to yourself. That's something nice that you need to hear right now. Maybe there isn't someone to tell you this thing you need to hear. You can tell it to yourself. And then as you're ready, rolling up to sit. Or coming up to sit. And I will say thank you so very much for your practice today. It's been a joy and an honor to practice yoga with you. Namaste.